back as we fill your mind with spooky true crime stories of the deranged, unhinged, and absolute pure evil murders that will blow your mind. Some places we will visit to show you around and educate you on the history. Other times we will bring you to the paranormal because the dead never lie silent for too long.
Be the last time anybody sees us alive. I don't know where she has us, but we're gonna get fucking killed.
Hello? Gina, there is a beehive over there. Do you see that in the hole?
Buckle up, Buttercup.
Welcome to 50 States of Madness.
Recording in progress. Well, welcome guys back to the collaboration that you guys have been again dying for, because everybody keeps messaging my Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. When are we going to have another collaboration with 50 States of Madness with the lovely ladies here of 50 States of Madness? And we're here back at it again. So
thank you. Yes, we appreciate it.
of course.
Yes.
So the things that we were going to be talking about in this video, we're not going to take up too much of your time, but we want to talk about a few things that have been rumors that have been getting tweaked and misinterpreted and so forth. Also a little bit of on hate stuff with possibly if they've had any hate, or you guys already know my reoccurring hate as well. And we just want to get a little bit more our T's crossed and our I's dotted, as you will. So the first thing we're going to talk off to push aside is the hate. We obviously know that Zowoki, myself, has been having quite a bit of hate, mostly towards an individual, and I've been getting other hate from his followers. But then I'd like to know from your perstances, ladies, the hate that you might have received, and yeah, just tell us if anything's been going on with the Watts case and you guys been getting kind of negative remarks or what have you.
So you want to start, Gina?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, you want me to start?
Okay. Well, I was going to say, you know what? A lot of times, like when we do get them, we do get people like, oh, you don't have your facts straight. Oh, you don't have this. And we'll always reach out to them like, well, hey, get it, tell us the correct facts, or let us know where we can find whatever you're talking about, or the so-called where we're wrong. Because we'll always hear we'll hear stuff like, oh, you have it all wrong. But that's their statement. You have it all wrong. Okay,
That's
well,
it.
can you elaborate on that? Can you let me know exactly where we have it wrong? Because we're basically reporting. We do say this is our opinion on a lot of it. Like, this is what we think. But the stuff we do give as facts are based on like interviews we saw, the interrogation videos. We do present the facts. Sometimes we may interpret the facts wrong. And yeah, call us out. But I don't think we have the level of subscribers that you have where we're being picked up and being noticed by other podcasters who aren't as collaborative, I want to say. Because we've had really good experience like with you. I mean, I don't know what they don't like about you. I was super excited when you featured our video. I was like, wait, he noticed us? What? But yeah, I don't, Gina looks comments more than I do, to be honest with you. And she answers more than I do, but
it's just yeah, and honestly, I never delete a comment. The only comment that I would ever delete would be if it was, just something that I didn't want posted on the channel. But
like
if somebody,
vulgar.
yeah, exactly. But if somebody's just saying like, like we've had, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, or we've had people who think that Nicole Kessinger is innocent. And they make remarks. They'll say, oh, you said this word wrong, or you said that word wrong. And we had some guy say, you say like more times than Chris Watts does when, you can't, you can't form a sentence and blah, blah, blah. And all of those, I just reply, thanks for watching. Like, you gave us a view. So you know what? Thank you for watching. And the ones that we have asked to elaborate more, it's
Never do.
No, you never hear back from them. And again, I feel like, if these people saw you in person, they wouldn't be saying this to your face. They get brave behind a keyboard
Exactly.
They just want to pop off because chances are you're never going to see them in person. And yeah, it is hard not to take things personal when it comes to you. Like like many years ago, I took, because I'm heavily, heavily tattooed, and I would get a lot of negative comments. Like
I don't know why.
pretty much all negative comments. There's not, I rarely would get positive comments. And I would take it personal. And I just thought, why am I taking this personal? I know what kind of person I am.
Mhm.
And you know what? But I think that just comes with getting it so often. But I think this is kind of a similar situation where, if you don't like it, then, just kill them with kindness. That's what I say. You know what? Thanks for watching. And if we're not, you know what? We're not for everybody. And, if we're not for you, I hope you find the channel that you like, that is for you, that gives you the information that you're seeking.
I had one that was really super angry, and it was a really angry comment about how, how the way we spoke pissed him off. Like, it was just like a really mean comment. And I just put, oh my gosh, I'm really sorry to hear how angry you're getting watching us. I would just recommend finding another channel that doesn't get you so angry, because I just want to see you happy. Thanks for watching. And I just moved
Yeah,
on.
we're not here to get your blood pressure raised or anything.
And we know we're not for everyone, and you're not for everyone, and the way we speak may not be so eloquent, or as like other people who have experience. They don't know, and like you do, how hard it is to start up a channel. And we don't start these
Mhm.
channels for the fame, for the money. We
Mhm.
started because they're a passion project. It's fun for us. Just for us, to do something that's, fun, and it's an outlet. It's like a hobby. Like, people puzzle, people, play games. We do the podcast. But don't judge until you get behind a camera and have to spit off facts off the top of your head.
You try it.
Thank you.
It's hard. And that was one of the first things that, when we started doing this, that was one of the first things that I told Shannon, is I have a newfound respect for people who podcast, for people who do YouTube. Because it is not easy to, especially like in your case, like with Shannon and I, at least we can kind of sit here and have a conversation with each other. But when you're just sitting in front of a camera by yourself, not talking to anybody, it's like trying to engage with a wall. Like, it doesn't happen, And so you have to keep up, your energy, and it's basically like talking to somebody who's not there.
I pretty much
And
pretend like the person is my camera and I'm trying
exactly.
to entertain it, but there's no emotion to go
And that's
off of.
not easy to do, and a lot of people, I would say the majority of people who are popping off about, oh, you can't say this right, and you sound this way, and you sound that way, and you're doing this wrong and that wrong, have not ever done anything remotely close to trying to record themselves. It's
I,
not,
I
it's
hated doing it in speech classes in high school. Like I could do like certain speeches, but I get up in front of people and sometimes I couldn't like
yeah,
kind of thing. But I definitely do think that the military helped me out because you had no option. You had to spout things off right in front of the sergeant major and the NCO board. You had to do current events, the NCO Cree. Like you had to do all of that stuff. So I feel like
yeah,
that military helped me.
of
But
course.
like you said, I wish I had a buddy to talk to. That's why this video that we're making right now is so nice, because it's a breath of fresh air, because I'm
Yeah, you
talking to
get
you guys
feedback, and
and I can see. I think a lot of people that like that too is that I do collaborations, because I remember when I'm not a huge YouTuber. I'm a mid-sized YouTuber, but I remember being the small guy. I remember being the little guy, and you wanted to possibly be introduced with one of your idols. I'm not an idol, but it just would be nice to see what you say and what you say and
Yeah.
what you say. And a lot of people at home want to know what we think because they want to know if our thoughts are the same as their thoughts.
Right.
And they love that. That's why they love reactions, is because they were like, well, I screamed. Did you scream?
Yeah.
Or they just
Yeah.
want a buddy to watch with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Because I have
and
a lot of women that watch my content because they're by themselves and they
Mhm.
enjoy watching. It's like, what is with the hate towards YouTubers like myself and, well, you guys, luckily, ladies, knock on wood, haven't had that problem and won't have that problem. But it's like
it comes
the
with the
negative,
territory.
and I didn't realize that happening. Like I've never done this before. I did YouTube because I'm a geek. I was like, you know what? I'm going to share my geekness.
Yeah.
And so that's why, and then I didn't realize, excuse me, that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Especially when it's like a target, you know, like
Right.
where you're being targeted. I just want to maybe put some comfort out there that even though it feels like, if you actually go on their page and you see like how many people are actually viewing it as opposed to how many people are actually out there viewing YouTube, it's so small a fraction that it's not even reaching an audience for them, because who wants to watch somebody attacking somebody else? Like what, like I like this. And I think that's why people keep asking for you to go back and collaborate with other people, with us, with other YouTubers, is because people like that community. And that's why what I like about YouTube is that it's that community. It's that, you know, looking at other YouTubers and what they're doing and what they're creating. And even if it's the same thing I'm doing, the same type I'm doing, I love it. I love watching true crime YouTube. I watch a
Mhm.
bunch of different ones for the information because I like the way they deliver the information. Everybody delivers it differently. Like you know, you can watch 5 different videos on Chris Watts and Nicole Kessinger and, you know, and the conspiracy or the, you know, trying whatever different, there's all different takes on it, is what I'm trying to say. And different opinions and different ways it's being delivered, even though it's the same information. You always get a little bit back from it. And so I just, yeah, I think.
So, speaking of hate, I know I didn't want to do too much of the hate because I told my viewers and my supporters that I was going to let it go. That's why I made that video about I'm done. I'm done with the haters, but I wanted to add your guys' little spin and spice to it. I did like your part, Gina, that you were like, I'm tattooed. Get over it. Like, this is my artwork. Your husband probably likes it because you look better naked to him. So that's so that's what he wants and that's what he's gonna get. So
Yeah.
but it's just like, why hate on you for what you desire? I mean, it's like making fun of you guys for glasses. You can't help it. It's like,
Well,
stop.
to me, when somebody, you know, I would never, the thing that used to bother me was people would stop me to tell me
Really?
or to ask me, like, why did you do that to yourself? Or, oh my God, like, that's just ugly. Like, I hate tattoos. That would be like me stopping somebody on the street to tell them what an ugly shirt you have on. Like, excuse me, sir, but you know what? That shirt you're wearing is awfully ugly.
Yeah.
Why did
You'd
you
be,
buy that?
you'd be
It's
offended. I
the same
guarantee it.
thing. It's
Yeah.
the same thing. Like, I'm not wasting my time. If you think that shirt is lovely, by all means, wear your shirt and enjoy it, you know?
Just
I mean,
do it over there.
I don't have to like it for you to like it. You
Exactly.
know, it's the same thing. And that's why I feel like, you know what? Maybe Shannon and I aren't for everybody, and that's fine. That's the way the world is, you know? Not everybody gets along, and that's okay. And
I'm
so,
starting to see
you
that a
know,
lot more now. So
yeah, so I just hope that, you know, if we're not for you, I hope that you find somebody that, you know, that
well,
is for you.
well said.
Yeah.
So speaking of the hate, like I was saying before, because I twisted it again, the hate towards Shanann. I don't know if you ladies have seen it. I've been seeing it. It's getting redundantly absurd because these people are blaming Shanann because, okay, she might have been a little bit more, I wouldn't say guyish, but she would call Chris dude. I wouldn't say they would say that she belittled him.
I call
Um,
everybody dude.
I mean, my fiance, I mean, we like almost sometimes act like buddies, but by the end of the day, we're still sleeping together in the same bed. We wake up and take care of our kids and so forth like that. So, but it's miraculously annoying that a woman and her three children were murdered, and then they're like, well, it's because she had an attitude.
Yeah.
That doesn't justify murder. Maybe divorce or separation, but
Absolutely.
you're justifying Chris murdering Shanann because she had an attitude, or she was blunt and she was a driven woman that knew what she wanted and went after it. And then now you're gonna say, oh, Chris is okay because murder was okay.
Yeah, because
I've heard a lot of people talk about her spending habits too.
She
like,
made more than he did.
Shop and but it's like, again, that doesn't justify taking somebody's life either. Like you said, divorce, separation. Maybe keep your bank account separate if you can't, if you don't like the other person's spending habits. But murder, that's a bit much. I'm sorry.
And
Because
she
if
made
that was
more
the
than he
case,
did.
I'd have been knocked off a long time ago.
I said that in my exact video. I'm like, if that were the case, all of us would have been whacked a long time ago.
Long time ago.
my husband would have had multiple reasons to murder me by now.
Yeah,
He's been dead.
I mean, that's just what it is.
Not
Yeah.
to joke about it, but if it were that case, we would probably not have a human race
Exactly.
because people wouldn't be murdering for the littlest of things.
Yeah,
He
it just
didn't want to
doesn't.
pay child support. He didn't want to pay, or he wanted to start anew with Nicole. He thought he was going to get away with it.
I think it goes even beyond that. I think it's something where it wasn't even in his thought or because the thing is, even if she was belittling him, he thought she was a bitch, whatever the reason, the spending habits. I think it took that outside factor of Kessinger to come in and be that little voice in his ear, because I really don't think he would have done that on his own. I don't think that was in the cards, and it was anything that he was thinking of in that realm.
So you think it's more of the Shanann was the angel and Nicole was the demon or the devil?
Yeah, I really think that if
I think Nicole put it
never,
in his head.
if Nicole never came along, Shanann would still be alive, and I'll tell you this much: they'd probably still be married, because Chris likes a woman who controls him.
I
because
think
he went
you're
from
right.
one to another. Like,
yeah.
He
Well,
would. Yeah.
I was gonna say Nicole just did it in a manipulative way. She still controlled the situation, but she did it from afar. And because you could like watch, there's this guy I've been watching. I don't know if you guys watched that video. Deceptive Detective. I've been watching his content. Fantastic guy that breaks down things. He's got degrees in law enforcement and law and stuff like that. And he like tells you things that you would have never suspected. And you can see every little bit and piece that Nicole manipulates towards Chris. Shanann's just blunt about it. She's going to tell it right in front of your face. Nicole was just doing it from the sidelines.
Oh, yeah. And she was using tactics like her body, the pictures, her voice, even the way she spoke and giggled and laughed. That was all manipulation. We don't laugh and giggle like that unless we want something. Like,
no,
we don't do that unless we want something. I mean, let's be real, as ladies, we're not doing all this and walking around with our body all showing if we're not trying to get something.
I mean, you want the attention.
Yeah, from our husband, whatever we're trying to get, we're going to use what we can. And that's what she did. She used her body. She used her voice. I'm going to be so super sweet. I'm going to be the best girlfriend ever. I'm going to show him that I'm better than her. But then I'm also going to play like I'm supportive. It's all manipulation.
And then afterwards, she played the victim because, oh, Chris did this to me. Chris did that. Look at me. I came forward for information. And like I told everybody else, they're like, well, there's people that have mentioned that, well, Nicole came forward. She came forward to better her name. She didn't come, like all the things that she said didn't help or aid the police in any direction. She just pretty much told her story and that was it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think
It didn't
too,
help.
she came forward because she wanted to know what they had. You know, like they always say, like the murderer goes around the crime scene.
Yeah.
She inserted herself in that investigation because she wanted to know exactly what they had. And she wanted to be the one to tell them, oh, I deleted the messages, even though she knew she was hiding stuff.
Mhm.
She wanted to make herself sound like she would, oh, but I let them know I didn't know that you were going to need that stuff. I deleted it because I was embarrassed and I was,
Well said.
oh, so bad. It just, yeah.
Yeah,
She
she
knew
knew
what
what she was doing. It's not the first time she did it. You know,
Exactly.
I mean, she's got a history of doing a bunch of this stuff, and she's got a history of doing a bunch of stuff.
She stabbed
I
that
mean,
woman in the
let's just
back
be
over
real,
another man.
Yeah,
This
she's
is her
bad.
first rodeo, and so I think she knows
She
what
likes
to
she
get what
likes
she
that
wants.
she likes that attention where, like, back in the day, like you try to sneak around your parents and probably go after this boy, or like for me, I went
Yes.
after the ladies, and it was almost a thrill to make out with your significant other in the living room, and your parents are in the next room, and then you got to
Right.
stop. She loved that she could tiptoe around this other woman's house, and then once Chris said, "Oh, I need to go answer the phone. It's my wife," Nicole would have a fit because
Yeah.
she knew that she wasn't the main squeeze. She
Mhm.
was the secondary. She was always going to be their upcoming runner, and that's why she would, like Chris stated, 100%. She had a bipolar attitude.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
It would switch like that. So how do we know that she didn't switch like that on the morning of the murders?
Yeah,
We still
yeah.
don't know. We still don't know 100% that physically she was there, but I've added it up. She could be looking at least 15 to 20 years for the deletion of messages, of tampering with evidence, hindering an investigation, lying to a federal officer is 5 years in itself. And with calculating it all up, she could do 15 to 20 years.
And it's funny how they're not even getting her for that. That's what we keep going back to. It's like they're
They
not
gave
even for that.
they gave Gypsy Rose 10. She served 7 for persuading her man to murdering
Yeah.
her mother,
Yes.
which technically Nicole manipulated Chris in doing so.
Yeah.
And yet they didn't want to look at it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, but all in all, about the whole Shan thing, I think it's wrong that people are bashing her.
Absolutely.
It's like you're bashing a murdered woman. She is the
That's
victim.
the point. She's not even here to defend herself.
We
Yeah.
are here to defend her,
It's
Yes.
like, come
or
on,
her
people.
parents.
Yeah.
And then those people too, they're like, well, why isn't the Rusek saying something? Because they don't want to listen to it anymore.
They're
Or they
over
tell
it. Yeah.
or they tell us to just knock it off. They're probably watching our stuff, and which I understand. Don't get me wrong. It's not them. That's why I try to be respectful in everything I do, including you ladies. That's why I like talking to you guys, because you're respectful on your channel. But there's also a level of still bringing this case to justice, because somebody got away with hindering into these girls' lives, including Nico, and destroyed a family and then walked off like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's wrong.
I know. I do hear like, oh, what if the family's watching? But to me, if it was me and it was my family, I wouldn't be scrolling YouTube for videos
No.
about I guarantee you they're not watching. They're not seeing any of our content. They know that people are out there reporting on it, keeping it in the public's eye. And if she ever comes to justice, and if we ever can get her at least tried, I mean, not even convicted, just at least let's look at it. Let's look at everything.
Exactly. Just
I
look
think
at it.
They would actually appreciate it. I mean, I would.
Yeah.
We said before, I'd want every single person who was responsible for my child's death in jail, not
Yeah.
just happy that one of them is. So
Exactly.
why are they to speak for this family saying, oh, they wouldn't want this? Well, you know what? Maybe they don't like hearing about it year after year. Maybe they don't like listening to it. Maybe that's why they stay off social media and stuff. My cat is loving me right now. Um, but if it ever came to it, I'm sure they'd appreciate it if somebody else was in jail. That was
Well, and another thing too is, these people are you know, like we said, Shanann's not here, and these people that are just spouting out all this information about her, you know, whatever it might be, that she spends money, that she was a bitch, blah blah blah, whatever they're saying, like, how how do you know that? Did you know her?
Just from videos, they say.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, if that's the case, then if you are able to make those comments like you knew her personally, um, then you should, you know, like, maybe you should contact the authorities then, because you probably know way more than you're leading off to be, because you know, to say that about somebody
Like it's
that
fact.
you don't know, like, these people, there's one thing to be very passionate about something, um, which is a good thing, which is what I believe that we are. We're very passionate about, you know, getting justice for Shanann and the children. But when you take it to a next level of, you know, some of these people, I don't want this to come off wrong, but like, I feel like some people have a lot of time on their hands, and they get more than passionate about certain things,
Worked up.
and it becomes like part of their everyday life. And then that's when you start getting these comments from these people like, who are you? How do you know this information? Are you writing your own story? Or, because that's what it sounds like sometimes, is like they're hell bent on you're wrong and I'm right. But like, what makes your story right and mine wrong?
The
That's
only
what
people
we,
that know what happened are the people that were there.
and we're
Well,
trying to draw it out of them.
well, and here's the thing. Nicole Atkinson made a video and said, if you want to know what happened, read the discovery. But at the end of the day, nobody is ever going to know what happened.
Yeah.
Nicole Atkinson said that.
Besides
Nobody
Chris
will ever
and
know
Nicole.
what happened. Yeah, that's right. Nobody is ever going to know what really happened.
Unless Chris one day wakes up and says, you know what? Here's the truth. And are we going to
And at
believe
this
it?
point,
Probably not.
he's told so many, exactly, because he's told so many stories, you know, here, are we going to really believe what comes out of his mouth at this point? Probably not.
And it's almost like putting it in the same, I can't really say putting it in the same box, because I mean, they're both tragedies, but people like, they'll say, well, get over the case. It's done. It's over with. Are we going to say that about 9/11?
Yeah.
Are we going to forget about 9/11? Are we going to just stop talking about it because there are people that lost loved ones on 9/11? No, and we're going to remember it because we're never going to forget about it. But there are things that happen on 9/11 that we may never know, because there's
Yeah.
conspiracy theories that go up in the air about that. Are you
Yeah.
going to tell us to shut up about 9/11? Are you going to tell us to shut up about World War II because possibly something that your grandparents died, and we're just going to stop talking? We're just everything, we're going to stop talking about it. You learn from the past.
Mhm.
And if we don't look at what this is, there could be another Shanann and Chris Watts
yeah.
murder. And
Oh.
maybe if they would have gotten the death penalty, which I'm going to be making a video about this very soon, but the death penalty was in his window. But because a certain somebody, DA Rourke, decided, oh, let's not waste our time, no death penalty. That man should have gotten the death penalty.
Yeah.
I'm pro death penalty. If you do a crime like that, you deserve not to be here anymore.
Yeah.
I'd rather you rot in double HE hockey sticks than rot here and waste our resources, kind of thing.
It costs a lot of money to keep a man in prison for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Free healthcare, free dental, free
Free
food.
Free university, free degrees. I mean, you get more in prison than you get out here. Kids out here can't even finish school because they don't have the money for it. But men in prison are able to. Men
It's
who commit
ridiculous.
murder are able to get their bachelor's degree. You know,
And I mean, I'm great if he did find God, if he did find Jesus. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad that if he didn't or not, but you're a little late.
Mhm.
You should have found it before. He even said he felt like God was talking to him, saying that don't do this. Well, the
Should
devil
also-
won because you killed your family. He always says that there's a dark presence that was in that home. It was him.
Nicole.
Yeah.
It was him and Nicole. So I wanted to touch base on with you guys on because I wanted to get your partake on the whole Shanann Watts hatred, which is again grotesque in itself. But the last thing I wanted, excuse me, the last thing I wanted to talk to you ladies about was the newer proof that we got, which I didn't find myself. I found it on a channel that I found, but it validates what I've been talking about and other YouTubers have been talking about, where Chris Watts and possibly Nicole, I say possibly because we don't know still, that she was taken out the back
Yeah. I know
because
that we talked about that.
because the sheets had holes. I knew because I looked at the sheets. I was like, wait a minute, they got holes on those sheets. Did it get snagged on something? Lo and behold, on a body cam footage that they saw, the fence line had a chicken wire fence on it, had little pieces of white cloth on it.
Interesting.
So they must have had lifted her over, and you can see either tire tracks or drag marks, or they had brought the vehicle up there. There's no lights back there.
Mm-mm.
So the camera that was removed back there, you can sit there and tell me 100% times there's no camera back there. There's a camera mount back there. I've zoomed it in. I clarified it.
Wasn't there, I could be wrong, but wasn't there a picture of like previous before the murders that there was a camera there?
Yes.
That's
And
what
that's
I thought.
exactly because Chris did say he's got a camera in the back. He has a camera on the front. He says the camera in the front is by the door, and the other one is between the porch and the wall or the screen door, so they could see anybody that comes up through the sliding glass door. He said it in an interview, and then people are like, "Zowoki, you're just starting rumors about a camera being out the door." I'm like, no. Chris Watts said that there was a camera, and lo and behold, the morning of, he tried deleting the camera cloud stuff,
Right.
and he couldn't
Right.
figure it out. So he removed the router, which I don't know why. You could still find out on your phone because most of that
Wow.
stuff's attached here. The camera was removed. But why would you remove the back one and not the ring camera in the front?
Yeah. Because they take
So-
her out the back.
Because she was taken out the back. And there's
Yeah.
some people are like, this actually explains almost 100. Again, we can't say it for 100% certainty because we don't have 100% concrete evidence because they didn't collect it into a bag. They didn't compare it to the sheet. They didn't do hair follicles or like, and then looking at the police officers, like when they went in the bedroom, like they knew the sheet was not there. It was missing already. But then they go over there without gloves. Well, my inhaler, sorry. Without gloves, and they grab the bottom or the ruffle sheet and start pulling away without gloves.
Yeah.
Well, without collecting evidence too, without having anybody there, like seal it off. If she went missing, seal off the whole entire home. Don't let anybody go through there.
Yeah.
It's a crime scene until
Where's the
proven
tape?
otherwise.
Where's the booties on your shoes?
Yes.
What, like none of that was taken in consideration.
Well, because to them at that point, it wasn't a crime scene.
It was a missing persons, but
It was a missing person. So
shouldn't you still? Because usually what they say,
absolutely.
84% of the time, the significant other
Absolutely.
is the person that caused the murders. So
Yep.
you should technically classify every missing persons case as a homicide until that person's found.
I think if they were to, the reason why, a lot of the reason why they're not wanting to bring this to justice or bring it to the courts is because it's going to highlight the things that they did wrong. It's going to
course.
show everything that they didn't do as opposed to what they did do. Because they did a lot of didn'ts as opposed to dids. You know, I don't know how to say that, but you know, like they
Do's
did a
and
lot more
don'ts.
stuff.
Yeah.
They did a lot of stuff they should have done that they didn't do, and it's going to highlight what a poor job they did in collecting evidence around that home.
Yeah, for sure.
Looking at all the evidence. The minute the neighbor called him over there with that video footage, everything should have been shut down, sealed off, wrapped
Immediately.
around with tape, everybody
could
off the
see-
property.
You could see him with the holy crap. Like, I didn't know the
Yes.
neighbor's camera was on. You knew exactly at that moment that Chris did it.
Yep. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And-
Once I saw that back in the day, I was like, yep, he did it. And then what, 2-3 days later, Chris confessed. I'm like, told you.
I mean, and for the officers not to be able to read that body language, like,
Yeah.
what kind
The
of
neighbor even
Yeah.
saw it. The neighbor was like, hey, he ain't right, acting right.
Right.
And the
Thank
cop was
you.
like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he goes off and makes a phone call to his girlfriend. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
come on.
Should-
Like,
Because he said,
he shouldn't have been let out of it. He should not have been let out of their sight at that point.
No.
I said that in my exact, like when they went inside the door, like the first thing he did was went right for that car.
Yeah.
Why? You should be following that man. And then he goes into the kitchen. Like Chris was pacing. He was looking at everything. But why would you look if you knew that you was cleaned? Because the rumor is that Chris left with the girls and Shanann being deceased already. Nicole stayed behind to clean up. So Chris didn't, because he was going to clean up when he got home, because he thought this was not going to come to light. But Nicole Atkinson threw a wrench into their whole plan. And he's like, crap, I got to figure this all out. And then when he went inside, the police called him out on it and said, hey, is she diabetic? Because she had fallen. And he's like, I'm not seeing you looking. So he goes straight to the basement. Why didn't that officer follow him?
Yeah.
So do we think that Nicole Kessinger was in the house when Nicole Atkinson got there?
See, that's a rumor that I've heard. Is because they said because
The alarms.
garage door alarm went off. But then an hour before Nicole Atkinson got there, like Shannon said, the alarms went off.
Right.
But Chris silenced it on his phone. But the alarm system still copied or got the notification. So when Chris got there and went to the basement, that's when he took the router and pulled the plug. He thought by pulling the plug, it wasn't going to cause that problem anymore.
Right.
Because when the police went down there with the drug sniffing dogs, whatever, the router was off.
Okay. Lot
And
of
people don't think that we see this.
yeah.
So in partake, I think that Shanann was taken out the back. We still don't know if it's through the window or if it's through the sliding glass door, but she was almost a 99% sure taken out the back. But I would like to know what you ladies think.
Well, I haven't seen that video.
Yeah,
But
I haven't seen the
I'm
video
gonna-
either, but it makes sense.
Yeah, well, we did touch on that at a previous time that we were talking about this. We did talk about her getting taken out the back because of the tire tracks. If that evidence of the material being on the chicken wire, I would have been 100% she was taken out the back at that time.
Yeah.
Now I'm like,
They
okay,
should have matched them.
yeah.
This sheet with this piece. It's like, why are we
Yeah,
doing some
because we
CSI
heard
stuff
that-
here?
Didn't we hear that like she was taken down the stairs and like the kids saw him dragging her down the stairs?
I call BS on that.
Yeah.
Because
That's
like a woman brought up, she's like, well, if she was dragged downstairs, because you could sit there and say that you're muscular, and I'm not saying anything bad about her. Shannon's weight. She was pregnant. She was a woman that was probably enjoying food because of her child, but she was a little overweight, but she was pregnant. She was at like 140 to 150. I can tell you right now for a certainty that it's going to give you problems. Dead weight
Dead weight.
is going to
Yeah.
give you problems. Fireman carry, okay, you could probably do so. But in a sheet, this woman brought up that if she's being dragged down the stairs, that body is going to get some type of bruising, as you will, because it's hitting the stairs. No blunt force trauma, no bruising whatsoever. Only the hema, or what they call it, the
Eyes.
the eyes were
And you're strangled.
strangled, you bloodshot eyes. That was it. I think that she was intoxicated, or she was not intoxicated, but she had chemicals from chloroform. The toxicology came back clean. He strangled her. He says that he did this, but I'm guessing he probably did this because she didn't struggle. He said, I'm sorry, but a woman is not going to sit there and just,
No.
yeah, go ahead, choke me. I'm good.
Yeah.
No.
Like, unless she's, I can't say jokingly into it, but I'm saying this woman didn't see this coming.
Mm-mm.
And then I thought about it. What if they were sitting on the couch, that couch in that one room that's
Mhm.
upstairs where you had the the kids on one side, and then you had the parents on the side. You had that one little common area with that little wraparound couch. What if they were sitting there? She said something about you're never gonna see your kids again. He got up, started walking around, and came behind her, and then
Yeah.
did this
Yeah.
because I don't know.
Well, she definitely was taken by surprise because I can't see a woman not trying to fight.
No.
She was a
And,
fighter. You can't tell me she did not fight at all.
I was gonna say, especially her, I believe that she, I believe she would have definitely
Because you
fought.
can't tell me in you ladies' cases, you would just be like, just sit there and pray and let it happen. Guarantee
No,
you'd
I
be
mean,
fighting your way out.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably get taken out, but I'm gonna go down swinging.
You'd be
it's a
scratching or anything.
Yeah.
it's a natural reaction. It's a natural reaction unless you're chemically impaired and you can't.
Yeah.
But she wasn't.
No, she
Right.
wasn't. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like
That's
it's
just
a
human
natural
nature. If
reaction.
somebody
Yeah,
comes from behind you and just chokes you, like you're not gonna go like this or, something like, yeah, that doesn't,
Or the
that
whole
doesn't,
thing with him stating that they entered or they were going to be intimate. First of all, if you're not going to be intimate when you went to North Carolina after she was gone for 6 weeks and then you came
Yeah.
there and didn't touch her, what makes you think you're going to touch her when she comes back home and you want
Yeah.
some intimacy and then you kill her?
yeah, no.
There was no intimacy whatsoever. You had an
No.
argument, it pissed him off. And that's when he said he was so angry. But why was he angry? Like he's the one that caused the problem.
Yeah.
She wrote him how many times that says, "Oh, I love." Yeah, okay, she did do the dude or whatever, belittle maybe here and there, but she boosted or boisterous. I want to say it, boosted about him on Facebook that you're my rock, you're my man, you were with me when I was at my lowest, and she praised him, gave him love letters. You didn't get anything of that from Chris.
Yeah.
I don't think he was angry. I think he planned it. I think
He knew what he was gonna do.
of course, I think he knew he was going to do it. He forced a fight. He picked a fight. I don't think it had anything to do with what she was saying, or he was purposely trying to pick at her because he wanted justification or a reason to start off to get his
Yeah.
plan going. But he had planned it. It wasn't a spur of the moment. Oh,
No.
he knew that night he was going to do it the day she came back.
Well, he even said too that this is the last time I'm going to tuck my little girls into bed.
Mhm.
But why would you tuck them into bed knowing that you're going to murder them?
Exactly.
That's why I don't believe Chris was the one to murder them. Because, yeah, okay, he was a great dad before then, but I don't think he had the balls to take his girls out.
Yeah. I wonder if part of the story might be a little bit true where the girls woke up, they saw what he was doing, and she convinced him that either she had to do it or he had to do it because they saw what he did to their
So they
husband.
wouldn't talk.
Like the rumor is too, the girls weren't in the plan of being murdered.
Yeah. They
It was
probably,
only Shanann.
Yeah.
and they maybe saw something. And so it was easier to say she left with the kids if all three of them were gone, not her. Nobody would believe that she would leave the house without the children. So
But then they didn't even clean it up because the car was still there, her wallet was still there, her medicine was still there, the car seats were there. Like they thought they were going to be able to have time to clean this up.
I think,
Of
I
course.
think I think eventually they would have probably hidden everything. They would have taken
They would
whatever.
have
their
threw
plan was.
everything away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Eventually.
I think Nicole Atkinson is the hero in all this.
Yeah.
I say that every time. If it wasn't for Nicole Atkinson, it would probably came to light later on or not at all.
Yeah.
And Chris would be with Kessinger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would have got the life insurance money, would have paid off the house because they had substantial life insurance.
Yeah.
I think it was like $400,000 because the Watts, the Cindy and Ronnie tried going after the insurance money.
Yeah.
It's like, how dare you go after that when your son killed
Yeah.
this family? All that money
Right.
should go to the Rusex.
And,
Yeah.
and you're not even like, there's no reason to have that. Like, what are you getting that money for? Their
Exactly.
daughter's the one who passed away, not your son. Like,
Yep.
son's
And then
still,
they're blaming the Ruseks because they're like, oh, you just had you put a hit out on your daughter so you could get the insurance money. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, what motive? Well,
No.
it's because the insurance money. That woman, you can see a mother's love.
that woman's grasping at straws.
And
Yeah,
Ruseks love their daughter.
that's just too your daughter and your grandkid, like I'm sorry. There's just no
It's more of a slap in the face towards them.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
think they cared about the insurance money to begin with.
No.
The Watts wanted the money. They fought for it.
Yeah, of
They
course.
settled for like, I think it was like 50 grand. And then the Ruseks took the other part. Why would the Watts get anything?
I don't get
Exactly.
it either. But you know what? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree now, does it? I mean,
But that's why I think
he's
Cindy
not
and
right. The whole family's not right.
well, the daughter's not right. The
Yeah,
mother's not right.
Oh my
And
God.
it's like the mother and Shannon didn't get along because they were both like high-strung women that wanted their stuff.
Yeah.
They wanted things done right. And that's why they butt heads, because you can't have two alpha women.
Exactly.
They're gonna fight like alpha males. You're gonna fight.
I want to take it further than I want to say that Shanann probably would have gotten along with any other mother-in-law if it wasn't that mother-in-law who wanted to take control over Chris's life and wouldn't let him go and be married and be a happy man and have his own family. That
Yeah.
mother was too controlling. And
It's
I
like
think that would have butted heads with anybody.
well, your son is what was he, 33 at the time? He left the nest. It's time to let go. Like, she thought he was 2 to 3 years old. You raised him, let him go, let him be with his wife and start new traditions and so forth. It's like, I understand that mothers love to that point, but when a mother-in-law, just because I don't get along with my mother-in-law either, but it's because I wouldn't say took her away, but I'm starting a family with her.
Yeah.
And that's what he was doing with Shanann. Shanann was taking Chris away. She hated it because I still don't even know why they went to Colorado. I think it was more because Chris got the Anadarko acceptance, whatever, because they weren't planning on going to Colorado. They were going to go to, like, I think they said almost at one time it was like Nebraska, or they just wanted to get away and start a new life. And
Well,
Cindy
look at the
hated it.
conversation. Look at the conversation that we heard the recording of Chris talking to his mom. You're gonna hear how she talks to him. That speaks
Babies
volumes
him.
in itself right there.
Yeah.
She babies him, and oh, we're
That's
here
hard
for
to
you.
listen to.
We're here for you, Chris. We love you. We don't care what you did. Say what?
Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
because
He
that's
killed your
just-
grandkids.
exactly.
They're-
Yeah, that was a hard listen for sure.
Or Nico would have carried on the family name.
Yeah.
And the Watts were like, oh, we don't care what you did, Chris. Are you kidding? Anybody would love to have their name carried on.
Yeah.
And now it's gone.
No,
Mhm.
there's something not right with that mother-son relationship.
But then we're chastised because we don't know what Cindy's going through. No, we don't know what Cindy's going through. But I can tell you, like I said before, and people have said I'm contradicting myself, but I don't know what I would do. Like, I love my son to death. Don't get me wrong. But if
Yeah.
my son murdered his entire family, I couldn't support him.
No.
I wouldn't be talking to my son the way she's talking to Chris.
Exactly. I'd be like, why
I can
did you do
promise you
this?
that. I
Yeah.
can promise
Why?
you that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be asking questions like, why, Chris? Or like, I wouldn't say stay strong or you got this, but I'd be like, you need some serious like thinking and talk with the Lord or something, because something snapped in your head and you need to get this fixed.
Yeah.
They're talking about Halloween and Christmas, and they're
Yeah.
talking about the Steelers game. Him and Rodney were laughing and joking. That's what upset me the most, is they're laughing, having a good time.
Yeah.
What about the Ruseks?
Yeah.
They can't do that with their daughter anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's disgusting. And the fact that you're okay with it's one thing with Shanann, okay, the mother-in-law, she hated her, whatever, okay? not having much feelings there that Shanann is gone, you know? And how it was done. Okay, I get it. But your 3 grandchildren,
Yeah.
innocent lives were murdered. And it's just for you to be like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it fucking matters a lot. Like it matters a whole hell of a lot. And it's just disgusting. So
Yeah.
I'm
She
sorry, I'm
put-
getting all
I mean,
emotional.
it's okay.
Pisses me off.
And
Like,
and you have Cindy that made a memorial in their backyard. It goes Bella, Cece, Nico, I think Shanann, and then Ronnie's brother because he overdosed. Why would you put them all in the same category?
Oh, wow.
Shouldn't you have 2 separate ones where you have like the brother of Ronnie by over here? But not to say anything bad about Bella or Cece, but Shanann's first, then Bella, Cece, and then Nico.
Yeah.
But she purposely put Shanann at the bottom because she couldn't stand Shanann. I'm surprised Shanann's even on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
but to me, that was just for
Show.
looks, like
Attention.
Yeah.
for show. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the
Like,
last
look,
thing,
I did this.
exactly. Like, look at me, I'm doing something at least a little nice over here.
Yeah.
The last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, and there's been a discrepancy about in the air about this, is the person that I was talking to you guys about before we got on here, because I'm not trying to let this person run my life, whatever I have you, but I think it was wrong for the Watts family to give this man a jersey that Chris Watts wore, that Shanann bought, and he went to the gravesite of Shanann, Bella, Cece, and Nico, and put teddy bears or some type of offering there while they filmed it. When it says at the top, this sign that says, "Do not record or take pictures of said location because it's in violation." And then he posted it onto his YouTube stating, "This is for justice for Shanann, Bella, and Cece."
But he took a jersey from the family.
The Watts family that was bought by Shanann. They gave
And-
it to this man. He wore it, took it to the gravesite, gave a teddy bear offering, and then some people think that's okay.
Why did he go as if he was like taking Kristen's spirit? Like, what the hell was that about?
That doesn't
That's
make
how
what
I
I'm
take it.
thinking. That's how I took it. Is you're
Okay.
making a secondary Chris Mark II and giving a jersey in remembrance because this man murdered his family, and now you want Chris to be remembered at the gravesite?
As if Chris is walking to the gravesite for his wife and the kids he murdered.
Okay, hold on.
Exactly.
He's wearing a jersey
That Shanann bought.
that belonged to Chris.
Yes. And Shanann bought him this jersey because he wanted it so bad, and this jersey was expensive. So Shanann bought it for him. But then when the whole murders came down, the Watts took that jersey back to their house. But then
Why would they give it to this man?
It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. They let this man wear it. I think they let him have it. And then this man went with, I don't know if I can't remember if he went actually with the Watts family, but he went to said location, and that sign is posted there every single time. And yet people go there and record. People wanted me to go to the Watts house and record. That's where I draw the line. I don't need to go there and record. I don't need to do any of that stuff. But it says do not do this, and he does it anyways.
Look, I am. Let me just show you.
Uh-oh, we got visuals.
I know. I'm pretty curious about this.
I'm curious.
I am
A Steelers fan.
a huge Steelers fan,
He was a Steelers fan.
and there is not enough money in the world that anybody could give me to wear Chris Watts's Steeler jersey. I don't care how expensive it is. I don't care how rare it is. I don't care what it is. I can't seem to process that
You're
somebody
wearing a murderer's jersey to the family's
to the
location.
gravesite, like,
Tell me this is not wrong.
That's 100% wrong. That's like wrong on so many different levels.
There are people that are justifying that this is okay.
What's the justification?
Yeah, how?
Exactly. I don't know where they're getting. I'm not
like-
I'm not trying to be disrespected or disrespectful towards people's opinions, but this does not
Yeah,
compute.
I would just love to hear an explanation though of why you think that's a good thing to do.
Appropriate. Like
It's
if
like taking Hitler's toupee to Auschwitz and and putting some type of like memorial there.
With it on my head.
Yeah. And put it on there.
I would say it's like as if dressing up as Hitler and walking into because he's literally
Exactly.
dressing up like he's Chris.
I thought it was almost sickening.
It
Yeah.
is. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
I've never
It's
heard
almost
that.
sick and twisted.
That's
I'll send you guys the link because
Yes.
it's still up of this man wearing it. I'm not saying his name because I will not say his name anymore.
I can't believe he's not embarrassed by that action. That
He's
yeah,
not.
I mean,
He
the
was
fact that
proud.
he has people
I'd be embarrassed.
supporting him is kind of a little mind blowing to me. Huh.
He was proud, and he made a YouTube video about him being at the house where Shanann was at one point, and the whole thing that went down where Shanann found out that there was peanuts and razor blades in the home, and Cindy just told Shanann like, they're just kids, don't worry about it. But you know how CC had very allergic reaction to tree nuts, and they were like bickering about peanuts versus tree nuts. I'm like, why are we talking about this?
Yeah.
There's so much into these peanuts and that this whole thing about Cindy and Shanann not working. We're here for Nicole and Chris having an association in murder. Why are we bringing up Shanann and Cindy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. And then we see this part. I'm like, this is so embarrassing.
That's I don't know. There's not many times that I really don't have much to say, but I don't really have a response to that because
And you're a Steelers fan, so you would love to have a jersey, but you're not going to put the man's jersey on that murdered his family.
I don't know. Not enough
And
money.
go to the
And that's the topper right there. Like you're gonna go dressed in his clothes to the like.
and then when I
Oh.
went to my trip this past weekend, I went to the Wisconsin Dells, which is like 40 minutes to an hour away from where Chris is imprisoned.
Mhm.
And people wanted me to go there. I'm like, what would that do?
Yeah, you
Go
can't
to
talk
the
to him.
prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can talk to him.
I can't go. I've asked, and of course, this gentleman was like, fancy that. I'm like, really, dude? Because apparently this guy has talked to Chris over the phone.
Oh,
Which
well.
I'm like, well, I just wanted to ask the question in front of him. I wanted to say, was Nicole there? I wanted to sit down and say that and see what his face did. That's
Yeah.
all I would have said. I would have sat down. I would have said, good evening, or whatever, Chris, or whatever. I have one question. Was Nicole Kessinger there? And see what he does.
Yeah. Body language says a lot.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted,
Especially when they're taken by surprise.
Yeah.
because I mean, from Sherilyn Cadle, from all these other people that probably have talked to him and spoke with him and sort of like that, he's probably heard 1,000 questions and so forth like that.
Yeah.
But nobody asks him about
That.
Nicole.
Yeah.
She's the
Yeah.
reason that this happened. Yes, Chris carried out the physical part of it, but she is the reason why this happened.
I wonder if he lays out conditions before people go and interview him.
Oh, absolutely. I
I
would.
wouldn't doubt it.
Off topic subjects, and that's probably one of them. That's probably the reason why, because he knows body language says a lot.
Yeah, he probably his stipulations are probably like you can't talk about the case, you can't talk about anything.
His
like,
body language sucks.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
no,
can
he'd
come
give
in
it
and
away.
He'd be
He'd
bad
be
at cards.
ask me what I had for lunch and that's it.
Oh,
So
Wow.
But yes, I just wanted to get you guys' partake on it. It's been a lovely hour again. I think
Yes.
roughly an hour. I don't have a timer,
Yeah, it's been about an hour.
Yeah.
but
But
again,
I
I don't know
just
if there's
gotta,
anything else you want to talk about.
I just want to say, keep being you. I like the stuttering. I like the stumbling over. I do that all the time. If it
I'm
wasn't for
human.
editing, you'd hear a lot of that coming from Jeannie and I. And sometimes you do when we do our shoot the shit episodes and we don't edit. That's when we get our most hate about how we're talking. But keep doing what you're doing and just be yourself. And
Yeah.
obviously, there's people out there that love you because you're getting the subscriptions. So
I usually keep
Yeah.
my videos raw. Like I don't really take
Yeah.
out too much, whatever. People are telling me to stop stuttering, stop coughing,
no,
stop drinking. I'm like, I'm just shooting the breeze with you guys. I'm like, I'm comfortable with you guys. I'm gonna drink. I'm not like gorging
Hard to
myself
sit
in
here and
ASMR.
talk like for so long. Like you need water. You need like I'm not trying to film a movie here.
This
You know
is
what I
not the
mean?
Avengers Endgame here.
Yeah.
as
and-
much as I
and
want to be Dateline,
No, and-
this isn't
well,
going to happen.
Shannon does. Shannon.
try. I try to
tries
make it.
But
edit
she has
our
that. That's why
videos.
she has that library behind her.
Yeah,
All that
I know, right?
knowledge.
See that?
I do. You can tell the difference when I get in there and edit because I do like a little bit of Dateline-is 48 hours type look. But yeah, it's hard work though. Consider
It's
we all
not.
have jobs. All of us have jobs. This isn't our
Yeah.
job. This isn't supporting us. If anything, it's what sucks the money from us. Because people think like, oh,
Yeah.
you get money from YouTube. Yeah, I have to pay for my merch, my website, my cameras, our audio, our subscriptions. What do you think holds our podcast? It's not free to put a podcast up. That you have
Plus,
to
I
subscriptions.
just had to pay. I had to pay taxes this year.
Yeah.
Holy crap! I was not expecting that, and you have to pay lots of taxes. And then I'm doing thousands of dollars of giveaways. I'm not just keeping the money and I'm investing it. It's like I don't got a Lambo. I don't got a fancy house. I got an 1833 old Victorian house that I live
Oh.
in. So it's like,
My dream.
well, it's
Oh.
1833, but I'll have to like do a showing of the outside and stuff to you ladies because I don't want anybody else knowing. That's why also too, and if anybody ever asks you guys, people for some reason want like house tours.
Oh
No.
It's like no house tour because you know where I'm gonna live, you know exactly. It's like I'm not showing that on my
No.
channel.
I'm
No.
not
And I
giving
wanted to
you
get
the layout for murder. Okay.
exactly. You know exactly where you're gonna shoot through my house, and I'm gonna be. It's like no, not happening. So
Yeah.
I'll
I
have to
might as
show
well
you
just
that.
I might as well just give you a key.
Pretty much.
I mean, good luck making it inside my house, but
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put that out there because my dog's not gonna let you get anywhere. But
My dogs will sniff you. That's about it, and bark at you, but that's about
Aw.
it. So
Her dog will kill.
not my dogs. But again, it's been a lovely hour. We're
Yes,
obviously
thank you.
we got families and kids, and I have some gaming
Yeah.
to do myself. So
All right.
make sure everybody that's watching, if you guys have not already, these lovely ladies need some support, some subscribes, likes, comments, and shares. These ladies are like very shy of 4,000. I think it was like 3,000.
we're
76?
3,200.
3,200. Get these lovely ladies to 4. Just do it. It's
Yeah.
not that bad. You won't be sorry. They do a lot of other cases. I know I haven't done more cases because there's that case that you guys told me about. I haven't gotten into that one yet, but I still want to. But they do cases, and it's every Thursday that they do. I forgot about that. And let us know if our notifications are not working, because I
Yeah.
just found out from these ladies, their notification wasn't working for me, and I was like, "Are these ladies okay, or are they still posting?" Until I actually had to go look for them.
Yeah.
Still there.
So
Every
make sure that
Thursday.
if you don't get the notifications, ask these lovely ladies if
Yeah, come
they're
look
still
for
posting.
us. We're there.
Yes. Send us a message on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yes,
Awesome.
sometimes they'll check it because they haven't checked mine for a while. No.
Yes, and my apologies because there are a lot of people that send us DMs, and I don't know for some reason, like it took me 4 days to get back to you, and like I
And she's usually pretty good.
That's why usually you guys are like this. I'm like, I hope they're okay.
Yeah, because I get notification, but I haven't been getting the notifications for some reason. I don't know. So
It's
yeah,
the-
so
it's the
my
government.
apologies. Right? So I'm sorry to all the people that I haven't responded to. I promise you that I will very, very soon.
We're trying.
So-
Yeah.
But
Thank
again, guys, thank you guys for watching.
Yes, thank
we
you for having us.
we probably won't be done. We'll probably find something else to talk about. But
Yes.
because you guys keep asking for us to keep doing these collaborations, I still would like to do a collaborations with these ladies plus ADT, CTS. I want to get like 10 of us in here and
Yeah.
talk. No
Let's
one's
do it.
done it. No one has done it yet. And I want us
do
to
it.
all come in here and talk about the Watts case.
Yeah, let's
Awesome.
do it.
Let's do it.
So have a good night, guys. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.
And